Hello everybody and welcome to Spill the Beans. We're playing the demo today. They actually sent me a key to get the demo early, so thank you very much, you guys. That's very awesome. And I'm very excited to see what this game's about. Well, I kind of know what it's about. It's a whodunit, but you already know who did it. You done it. So it looks like we gotta find a scapegoat. So let's get started with a new game. You've done it. Against all odds, you managed to pull off the heist. Your shaking, outstretched hands grab the cafe's secret recipe. As its power pulses through your body, your heart aches, your breath flutters. Mere echoes of what was taken from you. What will soon be yours again. Are we like some kind of demon? But at this crucial moment, you can't help but think of the other people in this cafe. The ones you're about to drag into a complicated criminal mess. You can only blame the scroll's influence for such inconvenient sympathies. If they were in your position, they'd do the same, wouldn't they? They'd know that, after everything you've been through, this was the only option left. People say that Artifice County is the most magical place there is. Yes, Artifice, where 100 years ago the world of spirits cracked the earth and spilled over into ours. But now those spirits work 9 to 5s. No! Arcane power fuels cars and charges phones. This county, once the cradle of magic, has become as mundane as any other. And an unmagical human like yourself, among shape-shifting sirens, carbon fiber constructs, and wizards, you're exceptional, exceptionally dull, and exceptionally underestimated. No matter how much you tried to fit in, to love this place and all its wonders, it never reciprocated. All it did was take. All it left you with was emptiness. So why not take something back? Steal everything the county denied from you. Fill that gnawing emptiness, then leave it behind forever. Luckily, you know what you need, and exactly where to find it. The Familiar, a downtown cafe noteworthy only for its secret recipe, locked tight in a back room. And conveniently enough, they're hiring. So desperately that they aren't asking for experience or background check, so they don't want my background check. All that's left is to put together an application. Not that anything you say on it really matters, it rarely does. Oh, cool! Let's see, I am a, what's the nouns? We got worker, learner, individual, underdog, thrill seeker. I am a ship captain. I am a loquacious ship captain who loves destroying my enemies. Soft skills. What have we got? Soft skills. I am a passable confidant. You know what? If I'm a ship captain, I need to be a leader. I am a competent leader. I am a miraculous expounder. And let's see. Please. Looks like we may have gone somewhere for university and experience something hemodynamics for 6 months. But we spilled our coffee on it. Now let's see. We want to stand out. Because it sounds like the magical stuff is so mundane now. So humans were normal and boring. So if I have like bright hair, then maybe this will make people be like, oh, like that's a wizard or something. And then they'll ignore me and we can commit our robbery. Alright, I think we're ready. We're a loquacious ship captain. We love destroying our enemies. Our address is 123 Placeholder Avenue. They just doxed me. Phone number is no, though. You don't get that. Oh, and we have hair, too. I didn't even notice. Let's go with that one. Oh, I did not put a name on here. My name is totally human. There we go. I'm all done. A few days later, you're face to face with the Familiar. While its neighbors are all dust and drywall, its facade seems unbroken, even if the varnish is peeling at the edges. For a moment, nothing. Then you spot a silhouette in the window who flicks its neon sign to open before waving you over. You cross the street, repeating the details of your plan. You need to get in, get out, and, for the smoothest possible getaway, try to find someone else to take the blame. But can you really do all those things without running into any complications? You've already reached the front door. You can hardly turn back now. We're in! The cafe laid bare before you, it's most indistinguishable from the scant images you found online. Mismatched chairs and royalty-free wall art, well kept, but well worn down. You don't get long to take it all in. A construct towering over 2 meters tall stops wiping down the counter to greet you. Oh, I love the little bird on your shoulder. You must be totally. Great to finally meet you. Sorry, terribly rude of me to not meet you at the door. As she strides over, you realize how old her vessel must be to have no custom limbs or decals, just worn gray stone, flowering moss, and that tiny blue bird nested on her shoulder. I'm Sloan, from the emails. Lovely to have you on board. Did you get here all right? I saw your address was uptown, and I know we're a wee bit out of the way. Before you get a chance to reply, she's already yanked you into a crushing two-handed shake. For a moment, you worried that she might have pulled your arm from its socket. I can't steal without my arm! Actually, I shouldn't get chatting just yet. Today's schedule is pretty packed, what with your introduction. I barely found the time to fix breakfast for Adam. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's the birdie! This is Adam. Say hello to Totally. They're your new coworkers, so be polite. Adam's usually my only companion out front, so it'll be nice to have you too. I mean, I love this job, I really do, but after 6 years of working the floor by myself, starting at 5 every day... not that you have to come in that early, of course. We are only meant to start at 8, but it pays off. It does. As Sloan trails off, you have a chance to put your plan into motion. You spent a long time figuring out other people's so-called feelings, and just how easy they are to manipulate. I think Totally Human's not a nice person. If someone's in a good mood, they'll probably think better of you and suspect you less. Then again, if you make someone upset, they might make for an easier scapegoat under pressure. But what's best for Sloan? Better make that first impression count. Totally? Oh, I've worried you with the 5 a.m. thing, haven't I? No, I'm just thinking of how to cause your demise. I just want to stress that you don't have to do that, honest. That depends. Are you paid? Okay, decrease Sloane's mood to make her more prone to breaking under pressure? I don't know, because Sloan seems very, kind-hearted. Just from what we heard alone. Even, mentioning, she was like, oh, you don't have to do it. It seems like she's really sweet and might possibly, this is the evil, Totally Human part of me, be a bit of a pushover. I don't want to make her upset. Plus, if she vouches for us, and she seems like an absolute sweetheart, people might be more inclined to believe it. But then again, she's such a sweetheart that people might be like, oh, but you're nice to everyone, so, I want her on our side. Because, maybe people will be like, oh, Sloan, you're nice to everyone, though. But if Sloan doesn't like us, then that's even more of a threat, I fear. So, those extra hours must be worth it. This place is spotless. Oh, that's sweet of you. I try to bring the best out of the old familiar. Good to know people actually notice. The lights flicker overhead before Sloan can finish her sentence. Oh, I thought that was fixed. Should call the electromancer once I get a free moment. Anyway, packed schedule, I've got pastries in the oven, then delivery after. Come on, let's get you in uniform. If we're quick, I can show you how our recipe works before any customers arrive. Oh, I'm already hired. I thought I had to get interviewed, but I guess they're that desperate. Oh, look at the pastries are shaped like cats! Sloan strides through the doorway behind the counter, beckoning you into the kitchen beyond. It takes 3 steps just to match one of hers. The kitchen, built from cool metal and right angles, is warm through the smell of apricots. You breathe it in while Sloan roots through a nearby cabinet before suddenly sighing. I'll say this now. Sorry about the fit. She hands you an apron like her own. Exactly like her own, actually, in that it's far too big for you. It's bound to slow you down and make you look utterly ridiculous. Your one should be here tomorrow. I hope this is alright in the meantime? Don't take the apron, you're liable to trip over that thing. Take the apron, you're here to play a part, aren't you? I could trip over it and that could be dangerous for our plan, but we still haven't met everybody, so let's take it. Great, how are you going to steal the recipe while wearing this? Thanks a million. Totally. Glad you're seeing an upside. Here's your name tag, too. I forgot that my name was Totally for a second. As you wrap yourself in the oversized apron and pin on your name tag, Sloan smiles. It's a small, sad smile that weighs down her whole face. Look, I'm not sure everything you heard about this place has been grand, but Once you put in a little elbow grease, she really shines, and I've got a lot of elbow grease. I just wanted to say that you wouldn't be here if I didn't think you had the same drive. Your application told me that much, the part about destroying my enemies. It did say please, though, didn't it? I knew that was a mistake, so I ignored it. Do change that in the next draft. Please. Oh my god, it actually remembers what you said. But at the end of the day, those are just words. Your experience was what really settled it. I mean, it must have been quite a privilege to work for... Oh! What's our story? Totally Human, what have you been up to? Sloane is cut short by a buzz from her phone. Oh, pastries! Why don't you pop into the office while I grab those? Fred, your manager, I should say, ought to be ready. Big gray door on your right. Best of luck! You take 6 steps towards the office. A hiss of heat escaping the oven behind you. Can I have one? I'm really hungry. Beyond lies Fred, the owner. The one from the newspaper. The one whose recipe you're here for. Oh, this may be our chance to scope it out. Oh, look at the cat tree! Hang in there! Familiar opens for hire. You ease the door open, but no one greets you. Your eyes are immediately drawn to a colossal metal safe that occupies a quarter of the room just a few steps away. You knew the recipe was protected, but not like this. This safe looks like it was taken from the set of a heist movie. It should be locking up gold bars instead of, what, a recipe for coffee? But as you run a hand across its surface, wondering how you're going to crack it open, there's a rustle nearby. You snap upright with a bolt of unbidden adrenaline. Whoa! Like a dragon emerging from its hoard, a tiny, gold-eyed tuxedo cat rouses from a pet bed on top of the safe. He blinks stickily, and then suddenly glares at you, fur on end, eyes aglow. Don't touch my shit! He spits the words at you like darts, light crackling through his panicked eyes. The air in the room starts getting heavier, as if brewing into a thundercloud. Who sent you? If you think you're going to best me in my own domain, then... Wait, you're the new hire, aren't you? Quick as a power cut, the lights in his eyes blink out, and the pressure lifts with it, the cat sighs, leaping smoothly from the safe to the desk. Sorry, that was unprofessional of me. I'm Fred. Welcome to the Familiar. Good to have you on board. Well, given the terrifying magic and the talking, he's not a cat. He's a demon bound to the form of a beast. A familiar, in other words. That's the last time I'm pulling an all-nighter on admin. You're lucky to still be young, human. Oh, that's my last name. You must have looked at my resume. As after the 1st century, things get... Sloane wanted you onboarded, right? We have one main rule. Do everything you can to show the economist this place isn't a bad idea. More than fire safety drills. We need drive and spite. So that's what I expect from you. Are we clear? Did you expect I'd even be here today? Crystal clear, boss! That's what I like to hear. So long as we're on the same page, you and I will get on just fine. We aren't a happy little family here. We're just hard workers. This isn't going to work if you aren't prepared to work just as hard as me and Sloane. As if on cue, Sloane enters the office, a kettle of boiling water in one hand and a packet of coffee in the other. She starts mixing the two in a mug on Fred's desk. Morning, Fred. Everything all right in here? Thought I heard a bit of, shouting. I almost got electrocuted. Oh, no, it's all fine. I've just been giving, Fred quickly squints at your name tag. Giving totally the lowdown on the Familiar. Our history, what we do, all the good stuff. Sloane gazes at Fred, tracing the tiredness in his eyes. Her smile dims a little. Oh, that's nice. I can join you now if you'd like. We could go over the finer details together. If you've got time, by all means. With firm movements, Sloane puts the kettle down and closes the door behind her. Fred's eyes lock onto your name tag again as he reads it under his breath. So, totally. Let's get down to business. I know that that's literally my character's name, but from the italicized way that he says it, it sounds like Fred knows that my name is fake. Yeah, that's right. That's not Totally Human's real name. Their name is something else. They use Totally Human. It's part of the scapegoat. I know what I'm doing. We're getting out of here without getting caught. We open 8 to 5 most days, but your shift goes 30 minutes longer at the end of closing. Anything after that is overtime. I can give you the forms. Aprons go on the hooks in the kitchen. If anything gets spilled on it, don't be afraid to excuse yourself and replace it as soon as you can. Oh, and if you are going to excuse yourself... And on it goes. Sloane and Fred don't speak to you as two different people, but as two halves of one business. Efficient, organized, and trusting one another as best they can. That should be most of it. I'll be with you at the counter for your training, so don't hesitate to ask me any questions. She cuts off again, by her phone. Oh, excuse me, Dave! Hey, Sloane. Just unloading the van out back. So, there's your heads up. Thanks, Dave. I'll be right there. I should be off. Need to give my signature for the deliveries. Thanks again, Fred. Oh, totally. Before you join her, I'm sure you've heard about our recipe. Must be dying to learn what makes the Familiar's coffee so irresistible. But it's not so much a set of instructions as it is, well, I won't get too arcane with you. It's more of a background thing, like the internet. You use that, right? Point being, even if you don't see it, it'll be working its magic back here. In a drill-proof, bomb-proof 6-gauge safe, which only me and Sloane can open. Also, I cursed it. Oh, that's not good for me. Look at that little face. So it's protected against teleport-based attacks too, of course. Act suspiciously in front of others. Sloane offered to show me the recipe earlier. I get it, you've got to protect what's yours. So I would throw suspicion on Sloane, but it seems like from what we just saw, they're two halves of the same whole. So while I feel like we could make him suspicious of her, and that would make sense since she's like the business partner, I don't know if that's a good idea, especially this early on. Let's see, create an opportunity for Fred to act suspiciously in front of others. Let's throw our manager under the bus. So it's protected against teleport-based attacks too, of course. Well, sometimes I need to summon something from inside without opening the door, so I guess someone else could. I'll make sure that's dealt with. Don't worry about it. He looks back at the veritable vault behind him, as if checking that it's still there. You never be too careful with these things, especially in this economy. I mean, wasn't it just last week that Raphael Hendricks wrote off his beauty store chain? It's inspirational how these CEOs act. Expanding isn't easy. I mean, ideally, we'd have an accountant, a consultant, another chef. But we've got you, and you're one hell of a good start. Especially with our regulars. You'll meet them soon enough. But you should catch up with Sloane. Anything you need, I'll be back here going over these papers. As you leave the office, Fred paws a single sheet of paper from the files on his desk. Even upside down, you recognize it as your CV. Uh-oh. Ignore the please. It was a misprint. It was supposed to say pizzazz. I don't know. Not a moment after you enter the kitchen, someone waves at you from the back door. In the doorway next to Sloane is a uniformed courier. A human, just as unremarkable as you. A precarious stack of cardboard boxes wobbles threateningly behind him. Say, you're totally, aren't you? Sloane was just telling me about you. All good things, I promise. Mostly good. Dave gives Sloane a package and gives you a conspiratorial eyebrow waggle. He pauses to take a long breath inward through his nose. Oh, is that apricot? So you did go for the new recipe. Fred must have taken some convincing. Oh, I'm just trying it out. We'll see how they sell first. Hey, if I come by once I'm off work, that's one customer right there. Guaranteed. Do they like each other? Sloane breaks away to put each package in its right place. Dave looks at you, eyes glistening. Hey, totally. Have a good first day, yeah? Decrease Dave's mood to... Actually, who cares? He'll be gone soon anyway. Increase Dave's mood to give him a bright start to the day, I guess. You know what? This guy is not involved, or at least I don't think he's involved with any of this. He's just trying to do his job, and I don't think I could pin it on him anyway unless he comes back, so thanks, I will. He might not be here for it, but if all goes well, today's going to be good. That's the spirit. Any more for me, Dave? Just a couple bigger things, but I'll grab those this time. Don't let me interrupt your induction. Are you sure? I could carry... I'll catch you later for that pastry, yeah? Dave walks away whistling, his footsteps gradually going quiet in the alley. Totally, I'm so sorry about Fred. I know he must have overslept today. That's on me. You notice her hands are balled into fists, one so tight that even the stone starts to buckle. I just wanted your first day to be easy, but oh well. Let's get you behind the counter, shall we? Oh, there won't be time to take you through all the machines, so let's just fill the drip maker. I'll keep the house roast down here. She effortlessly pulls open a burlap sack of beans, scooping them into the grinder. As you pulverize them, the aroma of coffee fills your lungs like a cloud of bitter smoke. Today's been all over the shop, hasn't it? We should get a wee moment to breathe now. Only one customer comes in this early, and they don't do Mondays. I'll introduce you tomorrow. You got regulars? Which one of them is the most suspicious? I'm asking for no particular reason. Sloane smiles, the stone wrinkling around her eyes, and it dawns on you. This is beginning to feel like a real job. Just as you finish that thought, the door swings wide open and your first customer skips inside. You spot at least 4 shades of pink in their outfit. Pink fingernails, pink sun hat, pink lipstick, backpack. That dress must be bespoke too. Pricey. As they draw close, though, you spot pointed fangs in their cheery smile and deep red eyes behind their tinted sunglasses. A vampire. Good morning, Sloane. Oh, I spoke too soon. Morning, before you order. This is Totally, our new barista. Oh, so you're finally upscaling. You know, I saw some real prime real estate going for cheap on Moonbow, if expansion's on your mind. Slow down, we're not taking over the industry just yet. The vampire looks as if they have more to say, words bubbling just beneath the surface, but settle on a pout. Totally, this is... I'm Jessie, with an I-E. Jessie's eyes swivel to you with abundant curiosity. Your apron's so big! I'm more for tailored fits myself, but I know that baggy looks have been catching on lately. Draws focus to the wearer being separate from their clothes. Oh, no, it's nothing like that. Just a supply chain issue. What'll it be this time, Jessie? A hot chocolate, please, and I'll have it with, whipped cream, nutmeg, caramel, marshmallows. Wait, will that fit? Marshmallows, then whipped cream, then caramel, and the rest. Oh, but what if I got cookies, too? Give me one with everything. And 2 chocolate chip cookies, please. Sloane's already off to one side, rifling through her arsenal of ingredients. Meanwhile, Jessie brandishes pink bat-styled mug from their satchel, placing it on the counter as their eyes flick back to you. They even brought their own mug. Even if Sloane and Fred aren't aiming at full world domination yet, you're still on the front line of their expansion plans. They're investing a lot of trust in you. You're making me feel bad. I like them, but I have a plan. I think. So, tell me, do you feel like a good investment? How far are you willing to go to succeed? I'd do anything. This is not about what they think it's about, but I know what it's about, and you know what it's about. We know what it's about, but they do not. The vampire peers deep into your eyes, then nods, as if confirming a suspicion they had. Good. So, Jessie, what brings you here on this lovely Monday morning? Are you trying out a new schedule? Oh no, much more exciting than that. I've got a meeting with the board after this, so I came here to prepare. It'll go much smoother with something sweet. Ah, for your infamous internship. How is your family treating you then? About as well as usual. Trust me, I'd much rather be here to help the familiar. But then Fred's just like everyone else. He sees my last name is Hendricks and thinks I'm some sorcerous corporate spy out to suck the proverbial blood from his business. Oh, maybe you could be a good scapegoat. Of course, the Hendrickses. Rich, powerful, and most troublingly for you, magically talented. Jessie looks at you, anticipating your judgment with a flat smile. Create an opportunity for Jessie to act suspiciously, create an opportunity for Fred to act suspiciously, or increase their mood. I'm kind of already increasing it on Fred, but you know what? We might need more than one scapegoat. You know, Fred did say he was looking for a consultant. Really? Oh, but I don't have time. But if it's for a few minutes, okay, I'll show him a few proposals if I catch him, thank you. Try not to let your family get you down, Jessie. You'll get your chance to prove yourself someday. Well, if all goes according to plan, that chance should come today. Fingers crossed. Sloane passes Jessie's now full mug across the counter. By some miracle of physics, it hasn't spilled over yet. It has to be like a hold person spell, but instead of hold person, it's hold mug. Hold coffee. Maybe this was a bit ambitious, but if I use a cookie to scoop up the cream and let the marshmallows melt, I can finish it in 30 minutes. Ah, thank you, Sloane, and totally. Jessie swipes their card, then takes their mug, making a beeline for a booth seat before the payment even goes through. Oh, I love them! They assemble their workstation in mere seconds. A sheaf of papers, a stack of textbooks, and a predictably pink laptop. The mug stands vigilantly at a safe distance, somehow still not fallen over after they rushed off like that. Jessie was a surprise, but at least they're a nice one. I'm just grateful they didn't come in the same time as... Uh-oh. Before she can finish, the door swings open and a siren rolls into the room. She's wearing a sleeveless orange turtleneck, a magnolia-covered jacket that's relaxing to her shoulders, and a perfectly photogenic smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. Hello, the familiar. It's a perfect day for my long-overdue review, don't you think? You'll have to forgive me. I came straight here for my morning swim. I must look a mess. She runs one hand through a river of glossy pale hair, parted by an immaculate side cut, and raises a smartphone with the other, flourishing it like a paper fan. Don't worry, totally. I'll handle this. Oh, what's going on? Jessie, explain! Jessie shrinks back, arranging their books in a makeshift wall. It seems to work. The siren glides over towards the counter, not noticing them at all. Are they like a food critic? Now, Sloane, I know you very well, of course, but for the benefit of both me and my adoring fans, who is this? Oh no, are they live streaming? Oh, I, didn't know you'd be coming. This is... But the siren's already staring at your name tag, trying to preempt Sloane's introduction. So that's how you spell totally. Enchantée. I'm Alexandra Argios. I'm Alexandra Argios. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. You don't happen to have a grimoire account, do you, totally? I'd love to give you proper credit on my post. How about a drink first, before anything goes on to that internet page of yours? Quite right, Sloane. I'm getting ahead of myself. Could I have... She clears her throat and straightens her back. A blue sea salt caramel frap with soy milk and non-dairy whipped cream on top, plus a little of that raspberry chocolate powder you would have. Be lovely, thank you so much. I should have everything. Let me check the back first, totally. Could you grab a plastic cup for that? Lids are in the bottom left cupboard. Wait, do you have any of those little fish cookies? Oh, she's gone. In the silence, Alexandria's smile slides off her face. She sighs, sharply, through her nose. Are you all right? I know this whole song and dance can be quite overwhelming if you aren't prepared, but then you don't know who I am anyway, do you? Never heard of you! That makes them happy! I don't know, Jessie seems scared of you. And Sloane said they'd handle this. I've never heard of you. Ah, that would make sense. Thank you for getting it out of the way. I hope I made a good first impression, for whatever that's worth. Sloane returns, hands full of yet more ingredients. You hand her a cup, and she starts filling it with dubiously blue syrup. I'm helping. Should I expect your fans to start ordering these fraps in the hundreds? I'm not sure they're on theme anymore. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. The drink's just to showcase how skilled you are at your craft. It's aesthetic. That's what the audience really wants. Alexandra plucks the card reader from the counter with a sly smile, passes her phone across it, and hands it back with a wink. There's a 30% tip attached. Well, 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 I suddenly like you a lot more. You know better than me about that social media stuff. Sloane, totally, trust me. You've got a wonderful, cozy place here. What's not to love? Those donuts, those menus. Alexandra turns around to gesture at the cafe, and her eyes finally land on Jessie. Her voice freezes in her throat. Jess? Uh-oh. Oh! Eek! Oh no, Jessie! Hey, Alex, I didn't know you were coming by today. It was on my page. Perhaps I should have dropped you a message. Sorry. Do you... Oh, what happened? Are you guys like exes or old friends? This is so awkward. Guys, I'm just here to rob the store. I mean, what? Sloane puts the finished frap on one side, pushing past you to tend to the transformed Jessie. Alexandra squeaks a little closer to you. I'm sorry, totally, truly. Drama's the last thing I'd want to bring into this establishment. Or to Jessie. I finally figured out her voice. She plucks the frap from the counter. You're not sure how anything that color could taste anything better than tolerable. I know when I'm not wanted. I'll just snap a few photos, then be on my merry way. The lighting's not ideal, but I could fix it in post. Feel free to dim the lights, the switch is right there. Jessie really didn't know you were coming, but they seemed so organized. Let's, I don't know what's going on between the two of you, but I'm sorry. Thank you. I'll spare you the messy details, but needless to say, it didn't end well. Not that there was much of an ending to speak of, really. With a final smile, Alexandra takes her drink to the cafe's centermost table, posing like an art exhibit. Jessie, still a bat, keeps staring at her, but she doesn't look back. Oh. See, I'm supposed to be increasing suspicion, but I'm already attached to these characters. With an exhausted puff of smoke, Jessie returns to their original form and slumps into their seat, eyes wandering to the crescent moon bracelet on their wrist. Sloane returns after confirming they're okay. Sorry, I didn't think... yeah. Both of them can be a wee bit complicated. They used to... She's cut off by the sound of a motorbike revving down outside, heralding the arrival of your third customer. Is it the skeleton guy? I saw him on the cover. Oh! The person is a first, even for you. Someone whose body lacks everything but a skeleton. You don't know any kind of magic that can make that work. Skinless, fleshless, sigilless, although he does have hair, which you're pretty sure isn't a type of bone. A stiff, dark brown pompadour that props up a pair of sunglasses. Grudge? Grudge, hey, how's it going? I feel like I've barely seen you since ArtCon. Oh! That's rude! He reaches the counter undeterred. You're waiting for Sloane to address him like the others, but she's just staring, locked into place. Oh, what's the matter? Oh my god. So you're the new barista. Good job on making it this far. Makes it one of the best, don't it? Ain't just coffee you brew, it's your resolve. Can I, can we take your order? Yeah, resolve. Well, let me tell you, I know your type, and I know you're up to something. I can feel it in my... I can feel it. Sloane, I would like to order. Thank you kindly. Let's put your new barista to the test. I'll have a coffee. A black coffee. From the pot. Doesn't have to be... yeah. I think we might, Sloane's eyes bounce between his skull and the coffee pot on the counter. Totally, why don't you handle this one? It'll be good for your training. Seems like she isn't going to budge. You grab a cup and start pouring. Wait, what's the name? Totally? Okay, think I got it. Totally. That's to be the name of my new nemesis. I'm Grudge Knuckles, and you'd best remember it. Even if Frederick gave you his job instead of me, there's bound to be cracks in your meticulous facade. Oh, so Grudge wanted this job and didn't get it, so that makes me your rival? Your coffee making halts at this revelation. He had a whole rant prepared just because you got this job? With an application like that? What did you put on your application? I put please. I think that's what really did it. Did you not put please? You're supposed to be polite. You're making it obvious why they didn't pick you. Ah, hit me right in my non-existent heart. You're gonna make a fine nemesis, that's for sure. Much as it pains me. Physically. You present the now full cup to Grudge. He daintily drops in a sugar cube, then stirs the coffee with a bone-like spoon, which he apparently just had, loose, in one of its pockets. Heh, nice try, but I know coffee when I see it. There's no way this... He puts it to his jawbone and takes a delicate sip. The liquid seems to vanish as soon as it enters his mouth. Damn it, it's just like usual. How did they get it right so quick? So bitter, yet so energizing. Does he not know how... That's just drip coffee, right? You just drink coffee. Fine, I'll hand it to you. Totally looks like you're real lucky. That's a decent cup of coffee, but beware, I'm watching ya. Oh! He takes the cup and spins dramatically away from the counter. It's then that he finally spots Jessie. Jessie! Grudge! They immediately hug and spin around. It's good to see ya. Why didn't you pipe up earlier? They did! I was waiting for you to finish. Sounded like you had a lot to get off your chest. Oh yeah, you heard that. Sorry that was personal. It doesn't matter. How's your job going? Why are you... My accent is going all over the place. I could tell you, but I've not got long. Are you sure you don't want something with your coffee? Sloane's made some great cookies today, and I'd be happy to buy. Oh, no, shouldn't give my nemesis the satisfaction. Not after walking away conclusively like I just did. I am right here. Grudge, you haven't even paid yet. And I admire your candor, but are you sure Totalie's your nemesis and not Fred? Fred's a real villain, that's true. But a nemesis, that's different. Gotta be personal. Wouldn't it be more personal with Fred? But you don't know who Totalie is yet. Maybe start with a rivalry, as practice? A rival, eh? Having a lovely time at... No, I used lovely time last time. They'll think it's insincere. But what if I... Oh, I almost forgot. Alex, how you doing? All good over there? Oh, Grudgy, I didn't see you come in. How have you been? Well, it's funny you're here, actually. There's something I wanted to... Oh, ignored. I'll just talk to you later. You too, Jess, if you're busy. Sorry, I should pay for this. Yeah, come back over here. Grudge sheepishly returns to the counter, hands fishing through his jacket pockets for some loose coins. Well, I'm back. Got too caught up in the whole confrontation to give you your money, even if most of it's going straight to Fred's pockets. Ugh. But I'll say this, I'm practically a coffee detective, and I'm detecting something odd about ya. So long as I come here, I'm gonna do my damnedest to figure out what. You think I'm suspicious? Wait till you see what Fred is up to. Is it just me, or is Alexandra trying to ignore you, then catch me, detective? Let's go for this one. This seems like the perfect person for us to go for right now. Are you perhaps goading me into a trap? You're making for a fit nemesis, but I'll find out what he's doing, unscathed. Did that work, or did he catch on to me? Oh! Without another word, he perches on a stool by one of the cafe's front windows. Over his shoulder, Alexandra and Jessie swap looks of confused concern. For what? For each other or for Grudge? Good job, Totalie. Now would be a good moment to put his purchase into the register. As she's halfway through showing you how to work the cash register, you turn to see Fred jump up onto the counter next to you. How's it going out there? No need to panic, this isn't a performance review, just checking things are... He surveys the regulars in the cafe with no small amount of scorn. Sloane, why don't you come with me for a moment? Been meaning to have a chat. But we still need to... Huh? She looks forlornly at the pile of coins Grudge left. Even at a glance, you can tell it covers the price of the drink and then some. This might be your last chance to sow suspicions before you execute your plan. Better choose wisely. I already put so much on Grudge, we have to do this. Is Grudge usually like that? Not that I've seen. I mean, I don't know him as well as the other two, but the way he talked, well, it'd be surprising to hear from anyone. As silence returns to the room, so too does your opportunity. But you can't help but overhear Fred and Sloane's hushed conversation in the kitchen. Oh? I'm just saying, if our best regulars keep bringing their drama here, no one else is gonna want to stay. With a sigh, Slow leans against the kitchen island, the full weight of this morning's events seeming to suddenly sit on her shoulders, just like a bird. They're good, reliable customers, and sure, things have been tricky, but we've got Totalie now. With a little hard work, we can turn this around. Besides, aren't there enough names on your board of bans already? Let's not add any more while we're going through a rough patch. How many people has Fred banned? She side-eyed a corkboard near a walk-in fridge. There must be at least 24 names on there, each marked with a reason for ban in a vindictive felt tip. Oh my. As she does, you notice Grudge sidling up to the counter, trying, subtly, to peer inside the kitchen. Oh? I know, you're right. It's just... I haven't even cast an anti-summoning ward on this place. Not exactly a recipe for success. I did want to talk about our recipe, actually. Since we've got a new hire, and... Can we just deal with one thing at a time? First priority is cutting down costs. Now I've noticed the price of algae extract for that blue drink got hiked up, and I figured... Fred's eyes finally land on the still snooping Grudge. The two freeze, before Grudge slowly backs away. Oops, busted. Gotta go! Aren't content making trouble for me from afar, huh? Go away! Who was that? 3 guesses. Ugh. All the more reason to cast that ward. I'll be out front. Oh, is Grudge a summon? Oh no, if he does that ward, then I'm caught! What are you doing now? Fred? A sudden knock on the back door stops her from following Fred. Oh, Dave's back. Let's deal with that first. One thing at a time. Oh, as Fred prowls out of the kitchen, Grudge turns to you with a scowl on his skull. God damn it. Did you say the thing earlier just so Fred would shout at me? That's a low blow even for you. And I'll find out what he's really doing soon enough. Uh-oh, I think Grudge is as suspicious of me as I am of him. Mumbling to himself, Fred assumes a position at the very center of the cafe. That storm cloud feeling starts to rise again as he begins his spellcraft. Oh, I must have pushed him too far. He's finally gonna explode me. While Fred's presence draws a little attention, you start rifling through your bag, making sure you can take any opportunity to launch the heist. Just as he starts chanting, however, Jesse approaches him with a thick stack of papers in hand. Hello, Frederick. Rumors you're expanding the Familiar. Very exciting. I'd love to get on board. Oh, should you be casting in front of customers? Lord of Chains from... Oh, Jezebel. That's kind of you to offer, but I am in the middle of something here. I just think there's a lot I can offer the Familiar. Sloan can vouch for my contract writing work. The Familiar deserves all the help it can get. At this point, Grudge takes notice of this conversation, silently shaking his head. Oh, so other people can get suspicious of things I do. Look, Jezebel, if you've already got contracts for me to sign, you've got the wrong idea about working with me. Thought you would have learned that after last time. Oh, I see. Maybe later then. Jesse gives Fred a nod and walks away, conceding his point. Grudge immediately moves to reassure them, skeletal hand to shoulder. Jess, is Fred trying to explode me? Oh, judging from the symbols, it looks like an anti-summoning ward. Odd, why would he want to stop anyone from getting in? Or for that matter, why do you want to try to stop folks from getting out? In the background, Alexandra tries her best to get a clear shot of her drink, but Fred is perched in the way. Freddy, darling, would you mind scooching a little to the right, would you? Since you don't consent to any photos, and I'd like to respect that. Freddy, Alexandra, I've got bigger things to worry about than photographs right now. I'm addressing a security concern, in case you hadn't noticed. Bigger things? What bigger things, Fred? We're all you got. Maybe start acting like it. Grudge, maybe don't... Not another fight. Uh-oh. Guys, everyone... Oh, no, wait, I need this. Oh, yes. Oh, he put the sunglasses on? It's then that Sloan joins you from the main room, dusting her hands clean from Dave's latest packages. Finally. Fred, are you doing all right? Sloan stands still at the sight of Grudge and Fred's stare down. She gazes into his hollow sockets. Could everyone just wait? I'm out here for 2 seconds and I'm already getting swamped by my own customers. What have I got to do for some peace, huh? No. We've got a new hire today, and if this is the oppression we're giving them, we'll be doing a disservice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be finishing that spell now, without any more interruptions. Fred continues, pushing the spell towards completion, as you, coiled like a spring, wait for the exact right moment to strike. Even with such a prominent distraction, you know success isn't assured. Is this our first heist? Have we done this before? How fortunate, then, that you sowed a little more chaos in advance. Because it's this precise moment when Grudge chooses to fire his parting shot. I know you're hiding something, Fred. Bind them to this realm. Grudge, what the fuck are you talking about? Jesse looks down at their stack of papers, gloom gathering on their brow. So you're not even going to look at my proposals? If you want to talk, Jezebel, we'll do it later. Just as Fred's magic ripples out into the cafe, all eyes are on Fred, and you take your moment to strike. You've done enough to distract everyone. You're not going to get a better chance than right now. You reach into your bag, and in an instant, all the light and sound is sucked from the room. The sounds of panic are quickly quelled by the magic pulsing from your Cozy-Co sleep-type blackout blanket. Even in the silent darkness, you won't have long before everyone gets a sense of their surroundings. But you've been over this plan too many times to fail now. Oh wait, the apron! Having said that, you're still wearing a very large apron, which could be an impediment to said plan. What to do? Take it off or keep it on? But if we take it off and someone spots us... Keep it on. Deciding that it'll be too much hassle to remove it, you press on, aproned. Step 1, take 3 steps into the kitchen. Then 5, no 6, to the right. You paw for the door handle and slip into the office, trying not to trip over your oversized apron. Step 2, 1, 2, 3 steps, and you feel the cool surface of the safe against your fingers. We're so close! Step 3, reach into your bag and use your can of Curse Be Gone. A shake, a few sprays on the safe, and the wards are already flaking off. Fred never considered such a direct approach. But there's something else, a sound cutting through the silence, crackling like lightning. Fred's casting a counterspell, albeit slowly, thanks to you wasting his time on that anti-teleporting ward. Step 4, spin the wheel and heave the safe door open. Feel around inside until... You've done it! Against all odds, you've managed to pull off the heist, and did a decent job of it too. Your shaking, outstretched hand grabs the cafe's secret recipe before stuffing it into the tiny pocket dimension of your teleportable lunchbox. At this crucial moment, you can't help but think of the other people in the cafe, and who, if anyone, you should try to pin this on. You exhale, but the sound, though faint, is starting to return. Fred's counterspell is gaining energy. Even if you put all your weight on the safe door, you wouldn't have time to close it properly. The best you can do is return as quickly and as quietly as you can. As you take careful steps back to the counter, you try your best to control your breathing, not to let the exhilaration show. It's been so long. But as you... Wait, it's been so long, so have we robbed before? But as you reach the counter, your foot catches at the edge of your apron. You trip as the darkness finally dissipates, an unwelcome reminder that you're not safe yet. You've got to find an exit in the ensuing chaos without arousing suspicion. Somehow. Uh-oh. As the Whoa! Just a cat just zoomed by. As the silent darkness lifts from the cafe, the first thing you see is Fred bounding through the kitchen, crashing through the cat flap to the office. Is everyone okay in here? No one's hurt? Sloane catches you just as you regain your balance, saving you from toppling over onto the counter. Oh, totally, be careful. The light must be disorienting. Just take a moment. What was that exactly? Blackouts usually don't come with spontaneous hearing loss. It is possible with the light and sound enchantments, but it's rare that they're so dramatic. Did Fred's spell backfire somehow? Jesse, we don't have any enchantments like that. This wasn't planned. Huh. Fred's plot must be even trickier than I thought. Where'd he go, anyhow? Before anyone can move, Fred rushes back into the room. Nobody leaves! His eyes crackle gold, and chains of light fly across the cafe. The front doors, the windows, the back door. No exits are spared. We could do this the easy way, or the hard way, understand? And if you aren't going to turn yourself in, I'll just root you out myself. What? I'm sorry, but whatever just happened is your business. I'm not missing my meeting. I'm sure you have a plan, Frederick, but is it really necessary to, trap us inside your lovely cafe? If you wanted us to stay, you didn't have to do that. And what are you accusing us of exactly? Sitting perfectly still while you messed up some spell? Fred, what's going on? While the lights were out, someone went into my office and somehow opened the safe, which means one of the people in this room has stolen our secret recipe. It's as if the whole room flinches. Suddenly, everyone's looking at everyone else, wide-eyed, searching their faces for the slightest trace of an answer. Jesse seems to be evaluating everyone in turn, but their piercing red eyes burrow into Fred the longest. Sloane looks grudge over with a furrowed brow, although she seems less suspicious and more just sad. Most importantly, however, no one seems to regard you for very long. But that means... No, this is fine. We could deal with it, it's alright. As unfortunate as this is, I do have a meeting to attend, and I'd rather not get caught up in this. Good luck getting past my magic. It might only be a familiar, but I promise if you try to leave, you'll regret it. Jesse's eyes flicker across Fred's barrier, prying for any weakness in the spellcraft. Frederick, please, I understand that you're stressed, but it'll be easier to figure this out if we aren't locked in the room, won't it? Yeah, and how do you know it's just one thief? What if it's a conspiracy of all of us finally getting our revenge? Grudge, you're just helping me here. We don't have to act like vigilantes. I'll just call the police and... Enough! Enough! This place is sealed, and nobody leaves till we find our thief. Thief, singular, Grudge, because if it was any more, you might have actually succeeded. As for the ACPD, Sloan, fine, call them. I'm betting they'll take their sweet, taxpayer-funded time getting here, then label this as unsolvable. But I'm not risking anyone making a break for it in the meantime. So we're going to sit here like adults and get our facts straight. Understand? Now, did anyone notice anybody acting strange? Anything suspicious at all? Might get this over with faster if you fess up now. The room exchanges uncomfortable glances before someone pipes up. You know what? Let's address this now. Would you mind telling us why you were spying on us in the kitchen, Grudge? He was? Oh my goodness, look at this suspicion go up for everyone. Grudge frowns at you before replying. Well, clearly my suspicions were well-founded, weren't they? Not like I overheard nothing important anyhow. Oh no, he's suspicious of me. Jess, I didn't think you wanted to get in with Fred after all the shouting matches we had. You wanted access to the heart of this business, metaphorically speaking. You really could have phrased that better, Grudgy. That's got nothing to do with this. I just got the impression that he needed more staff. Hey, if you wanted to steal from Fred, I'd support ya. Well, Fred, you were casting an anti-summoning ward, weren't you? That tells me you were expecting something like this to happen, already blocking off avenues of escape. You really didn't explain what you were doing, Fred. Can't blame us for worrying. Hey, I'm the one who just got robbed. I was right to cast that. Totally's the one who suggested it. Well, great start, everybody. At this rate, we'll have our recipe back within the next 1,000 years. There's no use trusting anyone in here, is there? I know how these stories go. You've all got some kind of motive. Ooh. Jesse, heir to a powerful family with something to prove. There's always one. I'm not an heir to anything. I'm the youngest of 5. Alexandra, our femme fatale, although she hasn't killed anyone. Probably. If it weren't from you, I'd take that as a compliment. Grudge, the obvious suspect. Too obvious, even, but I'm not ruling anything out yet. So, what? That makes you the hero detective? You don't even have a plucky sidekick, or a hat. Neither do you! Sloan, the one you'd least expect. Oh, that's good, I think. But Fred, you really can't be saying that I... Which brings us to our final suspect. Totally. Your breath can't help but flutter, as everyone's eyes suddenly turn on to you. Well, I've got my eye on you too, but they'd have to be swimming in artifacts to pull that off. Pretty sure they're in the clear. A cursory glance around the room tells you that not everyone believes him. So that's why they're going to find out who really did this, and everyone's going to be very polite and answer all their questions. What? Wait, my nemesis is the detective? All the more reason to keep an eye on them. Gotta make sure that justice is carried out. Fred, you know me. You don't seriously think I could have done this, do you? This is, can we all stop shouting for a moment, please? Please? I can't keep spending my time with people who'd wasted on my behalf. Don't try to stop me when I leave. I'm with you there, Jess. Though I wouldn't mind knowing who really did it. Fred, I know you're panicking right now, but we shouldn't do anything rash. These are our customers, and this is Totally's first day. Why would we... Her rising voice is broken by a ringtone. She stops with a flinch, putting the call on speaker. Hey, Dave. Hey, Sloan. Got my very last packages out back, but there's these gold chains on the door? Think it's stuck. You okay in there? Yes, I'm fine. We're just dealing with the burglary. I'll give you the details in a second. At the door. Oh, one of those days, huh? Is Totally alright at least? Good question. Fred just asked them to interrogate us. Look, I know it's unorthodox, but we all need that recipe. This is our best option for the cafe. For the cafe? I always knew you hated your customers, but this just confirms it. No grudge, just you. Can we please not fight already? We're not going to solve whatever this is by shouting. Yeah, it's getting a bit loud over the speaker. Totally. What do you actually want to do? If I'm getting paid either way, I can't please everyone? I don't know, guys! This is a pretty bad first day! I'm just innocent, totally human! Oh, I'm sorry, Alexandra. You don't think anyone here— Oh, Fred! Oh, Jesse! You don't think anyone here besides Sloane appreciated the reminder? Exactly. No one wanted things to turn out this way. We all agree on that, but we can still make it better. Hey, when I told you to have a good first day, did I jinx it? My bad. Look, are we doing this or not, totally? No matter how strange Fred's idea might be, it could put you in a better position until you can make your getaway. Time to lean on the scapegoat part of your plan. So as he starts bounding into the kitchen, you shrug and go along with him. Sloane finishes her call with Dave before following with heavy footsteps. Silence takes the space you leave behind. Oh. Do you want to talk about any of that? Just relax for a minute, Sloane. I'm gonna check for clues in my office. Totally, join me in a minute. Clues? Uh-oh. I didn't hire a detective, but here we are. If there's anything I can do to help, please just ask. Aw. Oh, me too! Nothing. He's outside the door! Someone let him in! Not that there's much I can offer besides moral support, but, you know, thought I'd say. Can't leave till the delivery's done, is all. So he's stuck here with the rest of us! Thanks, Dave. I think we could use the support while this gets sorted. Well, it'll get awkward if I'm just looking in, won't it? I'll leave you be, then. If you need anything, just shout into the alley. Dave! Best not keep Fred waiting. Maybe you'll be able to reason with him, calm him down a bit. I think he could use that right now. Outgoing called asshole? Who's asshole? You apply to her and enter the office, finding Fred in the middle of a phone call. Is that like his summoner? Because he said he's a familiar. Yeah, a theft. Locked down the whole building. Makes your job a whole lot easier, doesn't it? Oh, it's a cop. That makes sense. A locked room scenario is a little intriguing, I suppose. The person on the phone, you know that voice. Thin and sharp as a wire, digging into you just as deep, but where? But if it isn't urgent, that's not what I said, and you're not exactly getting picked off one by one. I'll be happy to be there at the earliest convenience. Our department is very busy otherwise. You'll solve it by yourself, really. You shouldn't expect miracles. We're just mortal, you know. Oh, excuse me, mostly mortal. A self-satisfied laugh cackles through the receiver. It bounces off the back of your skull, ringing like tinnitus. If you show your face in my business! I'll see you later, familiar. Ugh, why did I expect anything else? After dialing on all those tiny keys, too. We need to get him like a paw-sized keyboard. Ah, totally. Here already. As you probably heard, the ACPD is taking its sweet time, big surprise, but we don't need him. We'll do the real work. Plan is, you find our prime suspect before the phonies get here and mess everything up. You can do that, right? It's 1 in 4. Logical deduction. Fred sneaks a not-so-subtle glance at your CV across the desk. Should be easy for a loquacious ship captain like yourself. A ship captain? Not sure how those skills will transfer to— Oh, that's business speak for leader, isn't it? Apologies. I'm not fluent in bullshit. Oh, and you like destroying your enemies. That's exactly what we want. Destroying our foes is one of the familiar's core values. Ah, I'm glad! Right. Let's put those soft skills of yours to use. Imagine I'm one of the suspects. What would you ask me? Where were you the night of the 45th? Hey, did you have the recipe? You didn't? You did it, didn't you? Just confess. If you admit it now, we promise we won't be mad. I think Fred threw that out the window with what he did. Everyone's locked in here. Hey, do you have the recipe? Finger snap, what's up? If it was that easy, we wouldn't need detectives. It's not like he stops to breathe out as much tension as he can manage. I mean, are you even trying to find the right suspect here? We need eyewitness accounts, motives, that sort of thing. Stuff like, what were you doing when the lights went out? Or how do you feel about the familiar? And what's your relationship with Fred, you know? If that's what he wants while you're trapped here, that's exactly what he'll get. If you find us a prime suspect with a convincing case, something thoroughly investigated, we can put things back to normal. Things are gonna get complicated once he shows up too, so I'd appreciate having someone on my side when that happens. We might definitely be on your side, because from what our character said, current theory, I know this is just a demo, but current theory, all of that stuff we had, we stole, because Fred said it was, like, weird if we would have had all that stuff. I mean, everyone else still seemed kind of suspicious of us, but we had to have gotten them from somewhere, right? And then there's the fact that we know the voice on the phone, so this is a cop we might have dealt with before, so I don't know. We'll see. I know how this sounds. It's a dumb idea, but it's the best I've got right now, and if we don't do something, this place is going under. All our livelihoods are at stake here, so get out there and catch us a thief. Please. Your plan went off without a hitch, until it didn't, and while your boss might be paying you the greater attention, he doesn't think you did it. At least, not yet. And if a real detective from the ACPD is coming, no doubt they'll find out you're the thief. That is, unless you have a convincing scapegoat. With evidence of a motive, and the others on your side, you might be able to clock off at the end of the day without handcuffs. Until that happens, Fred's magic will keep you trapped here. So with that, your investigation begins. Not to find who did it, but to find the perfect person to blame. To be continued! Oh my gosh, what an awesome demo! That was so cool! That was really, really cool. I really like it so far. I'm so excited to see what is gonna come of this game. I can't wait for the full version. I really like all the characters. It actually was like, I'm sure you noticed, but it was really hard for me to pick someone to be to put suspicion on, because I really like all the characters. The art for them is so good, and I love their personalities. Even Grudge, even though I immediately started to try and make him the scapegoat, but like, now I realize he is probably the easiest option to scapegoat, but we don't know everything yet. Maybe we can pick a different scapegoat or put more suspicion on people when we actually interview them. But either way, this was so much fun. It was so good. I can't wait to play more. Whenever the full game comes out, we're for sure going to be playing it. We're going to try and get away with it. But I really wonder about our character's past. It seems to be building up to something. Especially since, like, you know, we have all this stuff. And there's the fact that they keep cutting off people whenever they mention something that our character might have done. So, like, what have we done? How do we have this stuff? How do we know that cop? How are we gonna get away with this? We'll have to find out when the full version comes out. But until then, thank you guys very much for watching. Thanks to the devs for sending me an early key to the demo. I'm releasing this the day that the demo comes out, so make sure to go play it for yourself. Drop some suspicion. Maybe don't wear the apron. See if you don't trip and almost hit your head on the counter like I did. Make sure to wishlist this game because it looks like it's gonna be amazing. Remember to take care of yourself, brew suspicion and coffee, and have a good day.